Hi, I'm Davy. I'm awesome. Welcome to Davy's Awesome Stories, where I tell funny stories from my past or go on a rant in an effort to make you laugh. So this week is Thanksgiving. And as a matter of fact, if you watch this video when I uploaded it, it's tomorrow. I'm going to talk about something you definitely want to avoid on Thanksgivings. That's the grocery store. I have not only gone to the grocery store, not on Thanksgiving, but right before, but I've also worked at a grocery store on Thanksgiving. Now, most will not be open. Some will be. Mostly for half the day. But you don't want to go. Trust me. You don't. All the last minute people are going to hold you up. Even the week of Thanksgiving, just stay away. Because the closer it gets, the more busy it's going to be, the more you're going to have to fight your way in and out of there. I learned that lesson the hard way. See, I remember being about 16, 17 years old. At this point, I had dropped out of school, my brother dropped out of school, and I will say this, when you're a little kid in school, Thanksgiving doesn't sneak up on you. Because you know you're going to get a couple extra days off. Although, around where I live now, they get the entire week. When you're the parent who has to prepare for Thanksgiving, it doesn't sneak up on you. But when you're in those ages of right out of high school up until parenting, Thanksgiving has a ways of sneaking up on you. The parents do the best they can to prepare. My parents were actually pretty good about that. My mom would have milk in the fridge, but she would also have 2 gallons of milk that we were not allowed to touch. Which I remember thinking was ridiculous. Because are you really going to use 2 gallons of milk to make Thanksgiving dinner? No, she just wants to make sure she has enough. Because she's not going out and buying milk on Thanksgiving. I understand that now. Now, my kids, it's the same thing. When we're down to 2 gallons and it's close to Thanksgiving, no milk. I don't care what it is. Oh, you need your cereal in the morning? Eat it dry or use water. I don't give a crap. One time my oldest, who loves to just drink milk randomly, asked me literally the day before Thanksgiving.
Hey, could I get a glass of milk?
Before you get a glass of milk, maybe you should ask yourself this question. Is it worth getting stabbed?
I guess I'll get some water.
That's what I thought. Yeah, no. Because even in the off chance that I spill a bunch of milk, I better have enough milk because I'm not going out to get any. If I go to the convenience store, it's going to cost me way too much. If I go to the store, I might not get back in time for Thanksgiving dinner. Because no joke, it wasn't milk, it was actually dinner rolls. My mom bought dinner rolls for Thanksgiving. And this particular year, she didn't buy the ones that she normally bought. A couple of days before Thanksgiving. 2 to be exact. My mom was working at a hospital at the time. She told my brother and I we were going to have to take care of dinner, just make some hamburger helper, because by the time she got off and got back from work, it was going to be like midnight. We said, whatever, we'd done it before. And of course, with hamburger helper, you always want some bread. And we saw rolls there, and it didn't click in our head that that's for Thanksgiving. They were pre-made rolls. Not Hawaiian rolls. I didn't try Hawaiian rolls until after I'd moved out of my parents' house. Same with my brother. First time I tried them, it was a glorious day. It was Thanksgiving. I was invited to somebody's house, early 20s. And I was like, what are these amazing rolls? They were like, these are Hawaiian rolls. Started buying them ever since. My parents didn't even try them until years later. I'd gotten married. My wife and I now lived near my parents. So of course we were going to have Thanksgiving with them. My mom's health had gotten really bad. This was a few years before she passed away. She couldn't really make dinner. So I was like, don't worry, we got you. I'll come early and we'll make Thanksgiving dinner. And my mom had bought the rolls that she used to always buy. The ones you have to put in the oven for a little bit, and then when they come out, they're all crusty and gross on the top and bottom and somewhat soft in the middle with no flavor. Until people were like, hey, put butter on top. So we tried that, and it was like eating really crispy butter. But my wife and I, we brought the Hawaiian rolls. My parents loved them. They raved about them to the point that my brother had heard about them. Later, my parents moved. My mom's health had gotten so bad, she needed help. My dad, his health wasn't bad enough to where he needed help himself, but he wasn't in a condition to be able to help someone else. So my brother moved in to take care of my mom for the last year or 2 before she died. They told my brother about these rolls that I made. So much so that after my mom had passed, my brother and my dad had moved back up here. My brother spent Thanksgiving with us and was asking about the rolls that my mom ranted and raved about. Even asked me,
Alright, how do you make?
I open the bag and I take one out.
Aw, pre-made? Store-bought acid?
Just give him a chance before you knock them. And he did. And let's make something clear. This wasn't a long time ago. It was a few years ago. In fact, I believe it was 2020 that he came over for Thanksgiving. And he's been hooked ever since. He comes for Thanksgiving, if nothing else but to get some Hawaiian rolls. Even the first time he tried them, when he was like,
Fine, I'll try it. It's alright.
But back to the story. I made hamburger helper. We grabbed some rolls to have with our hamburger helper. My dad even said he wanted some, so we gave him a couple. My mom got home and realized almost half the bag of rolls was gone, because we had about 2 each. And she flipped. And of course my dad, being the way he is, yeah, I told you. Those were for Thanksgiving. Oh yeah, he's a turncoat. But my mom said, you two are going to have to go to the store tomorrow and get some more rolls. The reason my brother wasn't crazy about pre-made rolls is because this was the only time I could think of we had them, and we weren't that crazy about them. They were okay when we dipped them into the hamburger helper stuff, but they were kind of bland. So we asked, could we get something else? Could we get crescents? We did. We also asked if we could get soda. She said sure, gave us some money, told us to get her a 12-pack of Diet Coke, my dad a 12-pack of Dr. Pepper, and then Josh and I could get whichever one we wanted each, which was great. We didn't have to fight about it. This will tell you how long ago it was. We both agreed that one of us was going to get a pack of Surge and the other one was going to get a pack of Josta. Best Thanksgiving drinks ever. But here was the thing. We were both young at the time, and it did not occur to us how busy it was going to be. This was literally the day before Thanksgiving. We figured it was going to be busy, but it shouldn't take us too long. We'll be in and out. We're just getting a couple of things. We should have figured it was going to be bad when we had to park not only at the very end of the lot, but in a space that to this day I don't think either him or I are 100% certain was an actual parking space. And we go in and it is packed. We are fighting our way through to get to the back where they had the crescent rolls. Grabbed a couple tubes. Get to the grocery aisle, which the way it was set up was, here was the registers, here's all the aisles of dry stuff, and right next to the soda aisle is where all the coolers start and wrap around all the way. The deli, dairy, meat, produces all over the store. We went to the soda aisle, fought our way through to get some sodas, to get 4 12-packs of sodas. And there were people at the end of the aisle that were kind of blocking our way, so we figured, okay, we'll just go out and around. And then we realized they weren't standing around talking, they were in line for the express line, which was not moving at an express rate. Found out later from working not at this exact same grocery store, but the same company, that they did have a rule: when it's that busy, forget the 20 items or less, just take everyone. We sat there and waited so long, our arms were dying. Because as you can imagine, a 12-pack of soda, where that's not very heavy, sit there holding it for over an hour, it starts to get a little heavy. To get 6 items, 2 packs of crescent rolls, 4 packs of soda, it took us almost 2 hours. That's not just the time we stood in line, but fighting through everybody to get to these things, fighting for a parking space, fighting to get back to the parking space that, again, I'm pretty sure we weren't supposed to park in. Getting home took us 2 hours. The store was 5 minutes from our house. We got home and my mom was like, well, finally? What took so long? I don't want to get into it. I was just scared I was never getting home. But now, working at a grocery store on Thanksgiving. A couple years later, we had moved to another town, and this family-owned grocery store was a chain, a small chain, but a chain, had about 6 or 7 stores in all this area. They're gone now. But they had one where we were living. I ended up getting a job there. And I remember Thanksgiving coming up, and at the time I wasn't a checker, I was a courtesy clerk, which was a fancy name for bagger. My job was of course bagging groceries on big orders, cleaning, sweeping, going out and getting shopping carts, stuff like that. They had all 8 courtesy clerks working on Thanksgiving. And I remember thinking, that's ridiculous. Why do we all have to work on Thanksgiving? Number one, we're only open for half the day, which was the only time we ever closed, was half day on Thanksgiving and Christmas. We were a 24-hour store. But it's Thanksgiving. The day before Thanksgiving, I get people are going to swarm this store getting all their last-minute stuff, but they should have it by Thanksgiving. Wrong. It was so ridiculously busy on the day of Thanksgiving. We were only open until 3 o'clock. After that, we weren't letting anybody else in because we had to be out of there by 4 o'clock. That's how they did it, so that we would all be able to go have Thanksgiving dinner with our families. I could not believe how many people literally wait till the last minute. Literally. Like, some of the people coming in were going to our deli counter because we had a thing where we offered a cooked Thanksgiving dinner. That's just lazy. But most people were in there to get last minute stuff. Nobody there to get a lot of stuff. Just, oh, I need milk, which was the main thing. Oh, I need stuffing. Oh, I need canned cranberry sauce because we all hate ourselves. Yeah, I said it. If it's not fresh cranberry sauce, I'm going to throw it in your face. But still, it was so busy. And as one of the courtesy clerks, I was specifically told, do not actually bag stuff. I needed to be available for everything else. I didn't understand that at first. Me and one other courtesy clerk, we were not bagging anything. We were only taking care of things like carts, emergency cleanups, and whatnot. Until 3 o'clock rolled around. The point that it was advertised, after 3 o'clock, nobody in. They had me and the other one go to each entrance that we had and tell people they were not allowed to come in. They made it very clear, under no circumstance, no matter how much they beg that they only need to get like one item, don't do it. Even if they try to bribe you, which I remember thinking was weird, who would try to bribe me? In a minute. But we were under no circumstance to let people in, because everybody needs to get out so that we can do our basic cleanup and be out of here by 4 o'clock. And I will tell you this much. As much as the day before Thanksgiving sucked working there, as much as most of the day of Thanksgiving sucked working there, it was all worth it to stand there and tell people, you cannot come in. Oh. At the end of it, my boss thanked me, and I said, you don't need to be thanking me. I'm thanking you. I even asked, the next time we close, can I do this again? Because I'll bribe you. I got to tell people they weren't allowed in. That's every retail worker's dream. But as far as bribing, did somebody try to bribe me? Yes, actually. For almost an hour, I was getting it. I just need milk. I just need rum. I just need beer. I just need Jack Daniels. You just need rehab and to learn how to deal with your family. One guy needed milk and was begging. To the point he even said, I'll give you $20, man. Sir, I appreciate that, but I can't let you in even for $20. I'm not allowed to let anyone in. What? It's just one thing. First of all, when people say just one thing, we don't ever believe you. Because 99 times out of 100 when they say that, they get in there and then go, oh, I also need... But I did try to be nice. I was still working and said, sir, I understand, but we're not allowed to let you in. There is an AM/PM just down the road. It's open 24 hours. They sell milk. You have any idea how expensive milk is at a gas station? You just offered me $20. I don't think he thought that through. Like, he can go there and, yeah, pay a couple bucks more or give me $20 just to go in and save $2. But then it was over. He didn't get in. Called me a name. Left. The last customer was out. All 8 of us went out and grabbed carts. It only took a couple of minutes. And we all left. And I went home and had Thanksgiving dinner. But it's because of that I learned, and hopefully you will, avoid grocery stores on Thanksgiving. So there you have it. That's my story video this week. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit the little bell so you get notifications when I post videos. Leave a comment I can respond to in my next comment corner. If you got stories about being at a grocery store on Thanksgiving, tell me about them. Happy Thanksgiving, guys.